morning. Welcome to the crib. This is the day in the life of a 24-year-old sales director. I woke up with this mic on. Welcome to the house. This is the living area. This is the kitchen, all in one. This is the wife, Fania. But let's get after it. Fills up exactly to 6 ounces. It's either 6 or 8 ounces. To a T. And that's how we start the morning. I like to look good, obviously. So like the gym is pretty important in that respect, but also I just like waking up and just feeling better mentally and physically before I start the workday. Just because like in a sales type position, you have to make sure you're ready to go from 8 to 4. So it brings me a lot of the energy beforehand. So I'm not trying to catch up during the workday. I can catch up before I even start. So that's a big reason I go to the gym from the beginning before work. It definitely sets the tone, sets an example for the people around me as well. Like I think about the guys in the office, like Austin, for example. We got him motivated to get in and out of the gym before he starts the work day. I mean, Connor, he already does it himself. We don't really need to motivate him much there, but just all around, like everyone is on the same page in terms of we need to wake up, get after it, and make sure we're ready to rock and roll by the time 8 o'clock comes around.
Devin is he's honestly probably one of the most disciplined people that I know. And I think that's because once he sets his mind to something, he literally will not quit until he gets there, no matter what it takes. But Devin is also someone who thinks of things very differently. I always tell him that he's so creative, and not in like the artsy way, but in a way that he just looks at things in a different light, which leads to like different opportunities and different solutions to things. So I think that's one of the reasons, definitely, that he's gotten to where he has so quickly.
Originally, when I started working out towards the evening, like after class, like in college, for example. And then once I actually got into the workforce, I ended up working at a dealership. And I mean, the biggest thing that I learned about sales just right from the get-go is if you're not mentally in the right headspace, it can be difficult to get up and get after it, and you're constantly trying to play catch up as soon as you clock in. So like the big benefit of going to the gym beforehand is that, I mean, it gets you right in the head, it gets you in the right headspace, and I mean, you're ready to take on the day with ease, just because, I mean, it's a lot easier to make a sale when you're wide awake versus dead asleep. So definitely a big game changer. The biggest thing that sets apart the top producers in really any industry is the people that do the most outside of work hours. So whether it's going to the gym, whether it's doing something that is fulfilling, rewarding, whatever it is, but just constantly looking at a way to improve themselves, either mentally or physically. I think those are the people that see the most success. And I mean, the people that master their craft are the people that are constantly working on it, whether they're on the job or whether they're not on the job. So biggest thing for me, for example, not saying I'm a top producer, but I'm pretty damn good at what I do. But it's just because I do a lot of reps in terms of getting down sales process, getting down product knowledge, anything and everything, just making sure I'm in tip-top shape to make sure that my clients, for example, have everything they need to be successful. So I think that's what really separates the top producers from anybody else, is they're constantly working at it, trying to find a way to improve themselves mentally and physically, and ultimately making them want to just absolutely master their craft. All right, we are on our way to Gruening Health and Wealth. We just finished up at the gym, got in the work attire, and now we're headed straight to the office. One of the things that I kind of wanted to touch back on, which I know can be kind of a controversial topic, especially to like the older generation, job hopping, for example, that is really, I think, a lot of young individuals, whether you're out of college, out of high school, I think job hopping is one of the most valuable things that you could take away in your early years, and just experimenting with different jobs, mastering different crafts, and ultimately figuring out who the hell you are and what you want to be. I know a lot of companies, a lot of corporate offices, they're big on like loyalty and whatnot, but at the same time, if you're not providing and supporting the employees that are underneath you, I mean, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they look for other better opportunities that can take them from point A to point Z? So I think for those younger individuals, I mean, embrace being young, experiment as much as possible, and really find what is going to take you from the point that you're at now to where you really aspire to be. And one way you can do that is obviously work different positions, multiple positions, and find what you're good at and what you're passionate about. Good morning. Good morning. What up? What up? All right, it is currently 10:50. We just wrapped up a few meetings. So we had our daily team meeting to start off the day. I had a couple one-on-ones with the team, and then we had a VA training to help our VAs book more appointments and be more intentional and asking better questions when setting up those appointments. So now we are filming content not only for the client side of the business and helping clients with whatever they need in regards to Medicare, but also helping the external team in terms of other outside agencies, our partners, members, helping them kind of navigate how to be more successful and how to run their business at the highest level possible. So we will jump right into it and get things rolling. Hey everybody, welcome back. If you own or run a Medicare agency and want to learn how to structure more complete protection packages for your clients while creating more revenue opportunities in your business, you're in the right place. So today we're going to be talking about umbrella packaging and the significance of knowing what is offered in each umbrella, how they're going to be customizable to your client depending upon what core plan we decide on, and ultimately helping them come to a decision to not only protect their current self, but protect their future self when they need the coverage the most. So the first thing that I want to get into is, how do we educate? And what I mean by educate, yes, I mean educate on not only the exposures of Medicare, but how do we educate a client in a way that helps them come to a decision faster? How do we educate a client so well that they can make a decision on that first phone call? The first thing that you have to do and the first thing that you have to master is figure out what that core plan is going to be. So your core plan, that could either be a Medicare supplement plan, MS for short, or it could be an MAPD plan, Medicare Advantage plan. We have to figure out what this core plan is going to be, especially if they're going to be transitioning on to Medicare. Now, you may have someone that's not going to be transitioning on to Medicare. You may have someone that's in your lead funnel that is going to be staying on employer coverage, and that's perfectly fine. We can talk about that as well. So most common scenarios is going to be Medicare supplement plan, Medicare Advantage plan, or they happen to be staying with their employer plan. There's going to be the three most common scenarios and three most common core plans that your clients are going to decide on. But we have to confirm this first before we can go any further. So your education is going to look a little bit different for each specific scenario. So how do we educate? The biggest thing that we need to determine before we even go into our education is, where is this person headed? Do they have employer coverage? Are they still actively working? Does their employer have over 20 employees? Is it credible coverage? We need to determine that first. We need to determine what their premium is, what their deductible is, and what their max out-of-pocket is. So we can get a true comparison between this employer plan and a Medicare supplement plan, or even a Medicare Advantage plan, because for one, they could be overpaying. For two, they could have coverage that's not going to be covering them in the best way possible moving forward. So we need to do a true comparison with the client on the phone, determine, hey, maybe your Medicare supplement's going to cover you better than what your employer plan is. Maybe a Medicare Advantage plan is going to cover you better than what your employer plan is. But we need to determine that first before we go any further. So how do we do that? In the CNA, you're asking questions in relation to what they currently have in place, so you can do a comparison if you need to. But let's say that this specific client that we're going to use in this first example is transitioning onto Medicare. They don't have credible coverage in place. They're not working, they're retired, they're drawing Social Security, your ideal client, right? They are either going to decide on a Medicare supplement, or they're going to decide on a Medicare Advantage plan in combination with Part A and Part B. So we need to make sure our education here is so crystal clear and so in depth, but so incredibly simple at the same time. So every time I'm explaining Medicare supplement, I keep it as simple as possible. You are going to have an additional premium on top of that Part B premium. With that additional premium, you do have a lot of freedom and flexibility. You can now go to 98% of doctors and hospitals in the US. You don't need referrals. You don't need prior authorization for most services. Really, the only thing you have to worry about outside of paying your monthly premium, or premiums, I should say, is a $283 annual deductible. After that deductible is met for the year, then all your Medicare approved items when you're visiting doctors and hospitals is going to be covered at 100%. So less surprises, more comprehensive coverage. Any questions on the functionality of a Medicare supplement? And then I'll pause, I'll let them address their concerns. I give them an introduction. Hey, you're going to have an additional premium on top of that Part B premium. So on top of that $202.90, you'll have an additional premium that can range from $100 to $200 a month. With that additional premium comes the freedom and flexibility, 98% of doctors and hospitals, $283 deductible, blah, blah, blah. Get into the rest of it, but ultimately paint the picture a little bit better. Hey, you're gonna have an additional premium on top of that Part B premium, but with that additional premium, that's where you get the perks and true benefits of a Medicare supplement. Any questions on the functionality of a Medicare supplement? Notice how I say any questions about the functionality, because one of the first questions they're going to ask, so what's the total cost? We just need to determine, are there any questions about how it actually functions, how it's going to benefit you whenever you start to visit doctors and hospitals? And then we can move on. After we're able to address their concerns there and we're able to determine that there's no other questions, we can look at a Medicare Advantage plan. Then your Medicare Advantage plan explanation should be super simple as well. So I think one of the biggest mistakes that agents make on calls is, even when starting out or even the veterans, they try to make a recommendation well before going into education. So the biggest thing that I am emphasizing within my group, my internal team, is that it is so incredibly important to educate first. And what I mean by that is we need to identify what is going to be valuable in terms of what core plan
is going to be beneficial for that client in the time being. So I know this is more Medicare related, but for example, we have to identify if it's going to be a Medicare supplement plan, we have to identify if it's going to be an Advantage plan, or we can very likely identify if it's going to be staying on their employer plan. But we have to go into the details about what those plans consist of and how it's going to benefit them to move forward with that plan. After you're able to do that, then we can finally introduce coverage or additional coverage such as umbrella coverage to make those plans more comprehensive and make sure that we are covered in client not only now, but in the future when obviously health declines and they need the coverage the most. So my biggest advice for a person starting out in the Medicare space specifically is educate first, educate on the exposures, educate on their options, whether it's a supplement plan, whether it's an Advantage plan, or whether it's staying on that employer plan. Educate on that first, and then ultimately make a decision or help the client make a decision based upon their unique set of needs. So tailoring umbrella coverage to that employer plan, tailoring umbrella coverage to a Medicare supplement plan, tailoring umbrella coverage to a Medicare Advantage plan, whatever it is, we have to make sure we're identifying that core plan first and making umbrella fit that.
All right, so today we are going to be talking about the different umbrella packages. And if you've worked with Gruening Health and Wealth, you may already be pretty familiar with how they work and what's going to be important when picking out an umbrella that's going to be based upon your unique scenario. So they are kind of customizable. And again, the best way to kind of navigate what's going to be useful for you and what's going to be best for not only your current self, but for your future self is to getting on a phone call with one of our licensed agents. But we're going to dive into what these umbrellas may consist of and how it's going to benefit you in the best way possible. So these different umbrella packages, just to give you a brief introduction, there is Umbrella 3, which is a more comprehensive plan, Umbrella 2, and Umbrella 1, which is the bare minimum that we typically recommend with any type of Advantage plan or supplement plan. So from the top here, you can see on Umbrella 3, there's Medicare plan with prescription coverage. So your Medicare plan with prescription coverage, that could either be an Advantage plan or that could be a supplement plan. So that can look a little bit different depending upon what you're really looking to accomplish. Again, not only for your current self, but for your future self. And the biggest thing here is being familiar with the difference between the two. So Medicare supplement, the easiest way to explain that, the easiest way to understand how it actually functions is you are going to have Part A and Part B, which is traditional Medicare. Everyone has to have Part A and Part B when you're turning 65 if you don't have credible coverage in place. From there, you would then pick a supplement. Right now, the only supplement that is going to make the most sense is going to be Plan G or Plan N. They both work the same exact way at their core. What I mean by that is you're going to have an additional premium on top of your Part B premium. So for the year of 2026, which is the year we are currently filming this, you currently have a Part B premium of $202.90. That is the standard premium that everyone has to pay. If you're a high income earner, it may look a little bit different for you. If you're a low income earner, it could look different as well. But the standard Part B premium that everyone has to pay is $202.90. With a supplemental plan, again, your Medicare plan, that would be your core plan. You would have an additional premium on top of that that can typically range from $100 to $200 a month. With that additional premium, you do have a lot of freedom and flexibility. You can now go to 98% of doctors and hospitals in the US. You don't need referrals, you don't need prior authorization. Essentially, you can go wherever you want, whenever you want. And again, I say no prior authorization, that is for most services.
All right, we just left the office and we are heading home. All right, as we kind of wrap up the day, just kind of want to recap kind of everything that we went over. Starting the day from the beginning, that's a very sneak peek into my life and what my day consists of as a regional sales director here at Gruening Health and Wealth. And I mean, every day looks pretty much the same. I mean, I get up, I go to the gym, I get ready for work, I go to work, I get the guys in the office ramped up and ready to go, and then I come home, I eat dinner, spend time with the wife and the cats, and then we just go to bed and repeat. So it's a very disciplined routine, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be beneficial long term. And I think, I mean, I hope if you are watching this video that the biggest thing that you can take away from it is just getting in a routine, finding what motivates you, and just continuing to replicate it each and every day, and continuing to find a way to be 1% better each and every day. So I know we went over a lot in terms of sales process, how to successfully run a sales appointment, how to build a team to the point that they are producing at a very high level. If you have any questions on anything that we do here at Gruening Health and Wealth, or what I do, don't hesitate to reach out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave any questions, concerns in the comment. But appreciate you joining, and let's get after it.